Hello and welcome to day 5 of the 10 for 10 yoga challenge. Today we'll be doing a sequence for your glutes. It'll be a short 10-minute sequence that stretches and strengthens the glutes. So begin in child's pose, touch your toes together, separate your knees slightly apart, relax your torso over your thighs, bring your forehead to the ground. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Reach your arms forward and from here plant your hands and feet into the ground as you straighten your legs into downward facing dog. And as we do on the first downward dog, move through your legs, bending and straightening each leg, gently warming up the muscles there. Slowly come to stillness in downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. Feel your hips going up and back. Press your heels down towards the ground. On your next inhale, raise your right leg all the way up behind you. Bend your right knee and send your knee to your nose. Hold there and release your leg back up on an inhale into three-legged dog, and then bend your leg so your heel kicks towards your glute. Do that again, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog, bend your knee, heel to glute. Bend your knee, knee to nose. Lift it back up, three-legged dog, and then kick your heel towards your glute. One more time, knee to nose. Hold and release back up into three-legged dog, and then kick your heel towards your glute. Send your foot down onto the ground, downward facing dog, getting ready to come into the other side. Take an inhale, lift your left leg all the way up behind you. Send your left knee to your nose on your exhale. And then from there, take a deep inhale, sending your leg back up, three-legged dog. Bend your left leg and kick your heel towards your glute. Do that whole sequence again, knee to nose, send it up, and kick the heel towards the glute. Straighten it out, knee to nose, send it back out, three-legged dog, kick the heel towards the glute. Last time, knee to nose, three-legged dog on your inhale. Bend your knee, kick the heel towards the glute, straighten it back out, send it down into downward facing dog. From your down dog, lower yourself into plank and then lower your whole body down onto your belly. Once you're down on the floor, on your belly, untuck your toes, bring the tops of your feet to the floor, interlace your hands on the ground underneath your forehead. From here, you're going to bend your right leg, point your toe up towards the ceiling, and then on an inhale, you're going to lift your leg off the ground, lifting that toe up towards the ceiling and then placing it back down. You'll do this about 10 times on each leg. You're using your hamstring and your glute muscle to lift your leg up. And imagine that there's a string on your big toe, lifting your leg and then placing it back down. Keep your head on the floor as you lift and lower your leg. Just a couple more rounds here. You should be reaching number 10 fairly soon. And slowly bring the leg back to straight. Getting ready to come into the other side. Bend your left leg, and then when you're ready on your inhale, lift that leg off the ground, keeping the leg bent. You're working that glute and the hamstrings on the left side. Same as on the right side, you're working through 10 repetitions of this on the left. You'll want to keep that knee bent as you're moving through here. I don't know why my leg seems to have straightened here a little bit, but you'll want to keep that knee bent because we're going to come into doing this same exercise with straight legs shortly. And come to your 10th and final leg lift. Straighten the leg and lower it back down. And getting ready to come into that exercise with straight legs. Starting out with the right leg, keep the leg straight and lift the entire leg off the ground. Lower it back down 10 times. Working from the whole back of your leg, mainly the hamstrings and the glutes. And really reach that leg as far as you can up. Use your feet and the energy coming out of your toes, reaching up and back behind you. You can now move on to the left side. Lifting your left leg all the way up, keeping it straight. Lifting the leg all the way up and lowering it back down 10 times in a row. Working from those glutes and the hamstring. Keep energy pointing out through your toes from the entire leg. Just a few more, almost reaching your 10th lift. After your final one on the left, you'll come into lifting both legs at the same time, energetically reaching out and hold, and then lower back down onto the ground. Do that twice more. Lift the legs up, hold and reach, and then slowly lower down. Last time. Take an inhale and lift all the way up, hold, and then lower down. You can remove your hands from your head, place them down by your sides, turn your head to one side, and take a rest. Take one more deep breath here, and when you're ready, slowly make your way up and come to lying on your back. Bend your knees, place your feet flat on the floor, walk your heels in towards your hips. Place your hands on the ground next to your sides, and on an inhale, lift your hips up into a bridge pose, and then slowly lower your hips back down. Lift your hips up and lower them down. Raise them up, bridge pose, and lower them down onto the mat. Lift them up and lower them down. On your last one, you'll lift them up and hold. From here, on an inhale, raise your right leg and straighten it out in front of you. Hold bridge pose, and then place the foot back down, coming into the left side. Raise the left leg. Keep those hips up in bridge pose. Hold with that left leg out extended, and then place it down onto the ground. Lower your hips back down onto the mat. Breathe here for a moment. We'll be taking that whole bridge sequence once more. So when you're ready, on an inhale, press down through your hands and your feet, and lift your hips up into bridge pose and lower it back down onto the ground. Lift them up and lower them down. Lift it up into bridge and lower it down onto the ground. Lift it up, lower it down. Twice more, raise your hips up. Lower them down, and then on your final one, you'll raise them up and hold. Hold here. Take an inhale and raise your right leg out, extended in front of you. Keep those hips up as high as you can, and lower the foot down onto the ground. Other side. Raise your left leg all the way up, stretching out in front of you. Hold, hold, and then release it down onto the ground. Lower your hips down onto the mat. Hug your knees in towards your chest, holding onto your shins. Breathe here. If you'd like to move from side to side, you can. If not, you can just stay still and hug your legs in. Take your right leg, cross your ankle over your left thigh, thread your hands through and hold on to the hamstring on the left side with both hands, hugging your knees in towards your chest. Remain here and breathe deeply as you stretch, using your exhales to allow you to stretch a little bit deeper, really stretching out the glutes that we've been working so hard throughout this sequence. Release your hands from your leg, lower your left foot down onto the mat. Twist your lower body to the left, placing the bottom of your right foot on the ground, keeping your legs in that number 4 shape. Reach over to the right and look over that hand, coming into a twist. You can use your hand on your right leg to help keep your knee in line with your ankle as you stretch and twist. On your next inhale, unwind from your twist, switch legs, placing the left ankle over the right thigh and holding onto the back of the right thigh with your hands, hugging your knees in towards your chest. Hold here and stretch out the hamstrings and the glutes on the right side, really using your exhales to help you stretch a little bit deeper each time you release your breath. Remove your hands from your leg, place your right foot down onto the ground, twist your lower body to the right, placing the bottom of the left foot on the floor and reaching over to the left with your arm and your head, coming into twist. Use that hand on your leg to help keep your knee in line with your ankle, and breathe as you twist, feeling your spine twist completely around. Slowly and gently bring your legs back to the center, and you can come to hugging your knees in towards your chest once more. If you'd like, you can rock from side to side, gently massaging your lower back on the floor. And when you're ready, you can take a Shavasana or make your way up to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today for day 5 of the 10 for 10 Yoga Challenge. I'd love to hear from you, so leave some comments and let me know how the challenge is going for you. I'll see you tomorrow for day 6. Namaste.